The Maplewood Community Center buzzed like a beehive struck by a stone. Children flooded the cafeteria, their shouts echoing off the basketball hoops as they scrambled for seats. Near the emergency exit, two islands of silence existed in the chaos. A boy in a cashmere sweater unpacking a lacquered bento box, and a hollow-cheeked boy unwrinkling wax paper from a single saltine cracker.
Smell that?
The wealthy boy lifted the lid of his container, releasing the decadent aroma of Valrhona chocolate truffles dusted in edible gold.
Father's chef makes them. Each one costs more than your shoes.
The thin boy's eyes followed the truffle as it hovered near the rich boy's lips. His own saltine trembled in his hand.
Just one bite. I've never tasted chocolate.
A slow grin spread across the rich boy's face. He snapped his fingers at his friends, three boys with identical polo shirts and calculating eyes.
Hear that? The street rat wants a taste of heaven. I'll give you 3. But first, you'll crawl under the tables, barking, loud, like the stray dog you are.
The thin boy recoiled.
I'm not a dog.
The rich boy's finger tapped the saltine.
Aren't you? Dogs beg. Dogs eat scraps. Prove me wrong.
When the thin boy hesitated, the rich boy deliberately crushed a truffle under his thumb.
Pity. This could have been yours.
The scent of shattered cocoa beans hung in the air. The thin boy's stomach clenched. He slid off the bench.
Woof!
Laughter exploded from the polo-shirted boys.
Louder! And on your hands!
Woof!
The thin boy's palms slapped the linoleum as he scrambled forward. A truffle bounced off his shoulder.
Good dog! Now fetch!
The rich boy hurled another chocolate toward the trash cans. Crash! The thin boy collided with a janitor's bucket, soapy water soaking his threadbare jeans. He snatched the truffle from the mop water, shoving it into his mouth as children pointed and shrieked. By the third chocolate, something broke behind his eyes.
Bark for us, mutt!
Chanted the polo shirt trio. He threw back his head, howling.
Ruff! Woof! Woof! Arf!
A grotesque parody of canine hunger. The rich boy filmed it all on his iPhone, zooming in on the hollow cheeks glistening with dirty water and melted chocolate. Near the fire exit, the observer gripped the doorframe. He'd come to tutor underprivileged kids in algebra, but now witnessed arithmetic of a darker kind. Dignity subtracted, humiliation compounded. Tears blurred his vision as the crawling boy passed beneath a table where a red-haired girl whispered,
Don't do it.
only to be silenced by her friend's elbow. A basketball coach approached the observer, frowning.
Why the tears? Kid's getting fed, isn't he?
The observer's voice was gravel.
Fed. Look at his eyes. They're going vacant. He's trading his soul's currency for sugar. He chose it.
The coach shrugged. The observer whirled, gesturing at the saltine abandoned on the table.
Choice? That cracker was freedom. Unappetizing? Yes, but it carried no chains. Every bite of that chocolate is a leash.
Suddenly, the rich boy stood on a chair.
New rule. Bark while balancing this on your nose.
He held up a truffle. The thin boy blinked, drool mixing with chocolate on his chin. Slowly, he lifted his face. Do it! Screamed the crowd. The observer lunged forward, but stopped. Intervening would steal the lesson from every watching child. As the boy whimpered,
Woof!
Perfect! Now,
Slam!
the red-haired girl overturned her tray. Her voice cracked through the noise.
Stop it! My dad says bullies are just scared people.
A stunned silence fell. The thin boy froze, the truffle tumbling to the floor. The rich boy's smile vanished.
you ruined the game.
He pocketed his phone.
No more chocolates. For anyone.
As the crowd dispersed, the thin boy crawled back to his bench. The saltine was gone, swept away in the chaos. He stared at his empty hands, trembling not from cold, but from the realization of what he'd sold. The observer knelt before him, offering an apple from his bag.
This is yours. No barks, no tricks.
The boy whispered.
Why didn't you stop them sooner?
The observer said softly.
Because you needed to feel the leash before you could break it.
All right, DecodeTales family, buckle up. We're diving deep into the psychological trenches today. That story wasn't just about chocolate. It was a horror movie about the invisible contracts we sign with our dignity. Let's unpack why this gut punch tale matters more than ever in 2026. First, the anatomy of humiliation. Notice how the rich boy weaponizes escalation? It starts simple. Bark once, then crawl, then balance it on your nose. This is Predator Psychology 101. Abusers, dictators, toxic bosses. They all use this playbook. They start small to make you complicit. That first woof, that's the psychological equivalent of signing a blank check. Once you endorse the first humiliation, the next demands seem inevitable. Modern parallel? Ever said yes to working late just this once, only to find yourself chained to your laptop every weekend? That's the adult version of barking for truffles. Second, the bystander effect. Did you catch the red-haired girl? She's the story's moral flare gun. Research shows 85% of bullying continues only when onlookers stay silent. But here's the twist. Her protest failed. The rich boy shut down the game. Why? Because humiliation requires an audience. No crowd is no power. This is crucial for you. When you witness workplace bullying, online shaming, or family manipulation, your silence is oxygen to the abuser. Your voice? It's a fire extinguisher. Third, the Saltine Principle. That discarded cracker is the story's unsung hero. It represents what psychologists call baseline integrity, your non-negotiable ground floor. The thin boy's tragedy wasn't poverty, it was forgetting that saltine equals autonomy. In our world, your saltine might be turning down a high-paying job that conflicts with your ethics, deleting dating apps that make you feel disposable, saying no to family demands that erase your boundaries. Fourth, the observer's agony. His tears weren't weakness, they were recognition. He saw the fork in the road. Path A, save the boy now. He remains dependent. Path B, let him taste the leash. Potential awakening? Brutal? Yes, but real growth often needs friction. Think of parents watching kids fail a test they could have helped cheat on. Sometimes the kindest act is withholding rescue. The scarcity mindset. Trap neuroscience confirms. True hunger for food, status, love literally shrinks your cognitive bandwidth. The thin boy couldn't just walk away because biological desperation overrode his prefrontal cortex. Modern example? People staying in abusive relationships because I can't afford to leave. The brain interprets scarcity as mortal threat. Breaking free requires what I call scarcity first aid. 1. Identify your chocolate, what you crave desperately. 2. Find your saltine, what you already own with pride. 3. Ask, is this trade rotting my soul? A challenge for you. Replay the story's climax. When the girl yelled, "Stop!" What did you feel? Relief? Frustration she didn't act sooner? That reaction is your moral GPS. Sit with it. Then ask, where in your life is there a rich boy offering poisoned candy, a thin boy bargaining away self-respect, an observer hesitating to intervene? Why this haunts us? Because we've all been both boys. We've traded integrity for promotions, stayed silent for peace, filmed others' shame for social clout. This story holds up a cracked mirror. Your DecodeTales toolkit. 1. The Dignity Audit. Weekly, ask, what did I pretend not to notice this week to stay comfortable? 2. Scarcity Vaccination. When desperate, physically touch your Saltine, wedding ring, diploma, running shoes to reboot your brain. 3. The 5-second protest rule. See cruelty? Speak within 5 seconds. Delayed outrage becomes permanent silence. Final truth. The thin boy's real poverty wasn't in his wallet. It was in his imagination. He couldn't see past the chocolate. Our work here at DecodeTales is to widen your vision, because once you recognize a cage, you've taken the first step toward breaking its locks. So, what's your chocolate? What's your saltine? And when did you last bark for something that cost too much? Scream at me in the comments. Let's dissect this together. If this resonated, pay it forward. Like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to see their own chains. This is DecodeTales, turning stories into scalpels that cut through the noise.